Your money is made in August. Plain and simple, the sun is shining, daylight hours, you're trained better than you've probably ever been trained, and there's people ready to buy. They're home, they're getting ready for school, they're not on their vacations as much. It's time to make some money. So I'm going to give you 5 simple tips on how to finish the summer out strong. First one, it's don't lose sight on why you started, why you did this job. A lot of people, they get so stuck in the routine, the mundane, and they fail to remember, okay, this is exactly why I'm doing this. It's for my mom. It's to buy a house. It's for my wedding ring. It's for whatever that is, and keep tying every day back to your why. That's the first and foremost tip. The second tip, don't believe in the word trunky or burnout. Burnout is all in your imagination. Now think of it as like if you're a running coach. You're going to tell your runners, hey, if you're running the 400, don't stop at 340, and start slowing down and finish through the finish line. It's, hey, the finish line is 100 meters past the real finish line. You need to run through the finish line faster than you've ever ran before. And it's a psychological thing. When we see finish lines, our natural tendency is to slow down and just coast into the finish line instead of bust through it. It's all in your mind. There's no such thing as burnout and trunky. It's all just your own mental fortitude. So strengthen that. Tip number 3, stop telling yourself that this is the last year. So often I hear, oh, I'm just, one summer and done, or, oh, I'm going to go get a real job. Take pride in that you knock doors, and take pride in the fact that you have an amazing opportunity right there in front of you. Stop daydreaming about the future job, the future school, the future whatever, because that's just a distraction from what you're there focused right in front of you. So stop telling yourself you're never going to do this again, because 9 times out of 10 you probably will. You'll get roped back in and you're going to actually love it, because every year there's such a natural, hey, I'm going to double my income, make 20% more, where at every other normal job, you can't do that. So I promise you're going to do this longer than you think. So make sure you take this year serious. Number 4, chase the guy that's in front of you. And what I mean by chase that guy, it's a lot of times you have a leaderboard, right? Whether there's 50 people or 3,000 people in your company. So what ends up happening is if you know that there's guys tailing you and they're about to pass you, you need to leverage that like natural competitiveness and the competitiveness inside of you so that you can actually surpass, like not that let them pass you and say, I am going to pass, the 5th rep. I'm sitting number 10. I'm going to finish number 4 and I've got to pass this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And August is when you do it because they're sometimes not as mentally as strong as you are. So make sure you chase the guy, but also chase the pay scale, chase the bonuses, chase the incentives, because this is the month where most companies give the most, and most time you hit your tiers. So make sure you chase what's in front of you and make sure that you don't let what's behind you pass you up. Number 5, make sure that just because you didn't make the amount of money that you set out to make doesn't mean you're a failure. I see it so often that people, let's say I'm a veteran, and the year before I made 200 grand, and this year I made 190. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this job's not for me. I should have made way more. I've been working my butt off. It's like you just made $190,000. Maybe you wanted to make $300 this year and double your income or whatever it is, and you didn't. Tough luck. But at the end of the day, what ends up happening is they do that, and now they say, oh, I need to leave my company. I need to go to greener grass. I need to go do something else. And that's when it just kills you. Because the second you take your eye off, hey, it's all on me. I'm not going to play victim and tell myself a story. I'm just going to own it and not realize that I didn't fail. I just came out here and I learned things that I didn't know before, and that I actually grew as a human being, but maybe not financially. That's okay. If you're a rookie and maybe you set out to make 50 grand your first year and you only made 20, whoop-de-doo. That's life. A lot of times you get recruited with the wrong expectation. That's okay. But just realize that second year and third year and fourth year is where you're just going to incrementally keep getting better. So remember that and don't beat yourself up and just say, oh, this wasn't for me because I didn't make the money. Maybe you made 5 grand this whole summer and spent it all on food. That's okay, because the skill set you're learning today will slingshot your career in the future. So just remember, plain and simple, don't take your eyes off of what's right in front of you. Don't think you have to bounce. Don't start making decisions of like, oh, I'm going to do some other job after this, because you're in a really like fragile emotional state right now in the summer. And remember that.